Oh, you can search far and wide, you can drink the whole town dry, but you'll never find a beer so brown. You'll never find a beer so brown as the one we drink in our hometown. As the one we drink in our hometown. You can keep your fancy ales, you can drink them by the flagon, and the only brew for the brave and true comes from the Green Dragon.
Hey, ho, to the bottle I go, to heal my heart and drown my woe. Rain may fall and wind may blow, but there still be many miles to go.
Sweet is the sound of the pouring rain, and the stream that falls from the hill to plain. Better than rain or a rippling brook is a mug of beer inside this took.
Hey, patrol members, hang on. I'm listening to. I'm listening to.
For people that don't know what it is, I'll try to explain it.
Tim Conway Jr.
Thrown off the air. Every Friday.
So, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's on a Clear Channel station out here called KFI 640 on the AM dial, and he is actually the son of Tim Conway Sr. And if there's anybody out there who's around my age or who's paid attention to reruns, his father was on McHale's Navy, and he was also a really good friend of Don Knotts and Carol Burnett. He was on the Carol Burnett show. And I think he was on Mama's Family, though. I never really watched that show, so I don't know if he was on that show. But his son, Tim Conway Jr., is on here on KFI. And if you have Sirius XM, you can find him. Or you go to iHeartRadio. If you download iHeartRadio on your phone, you can listen to Tim Conway Jr. And he's pretty funny sometimes. And he's very down to earth, right? He's not a shock jock. He's not a firebrand. He's just a guy. And I think he's kind of humorous. And that's why I listen to him. I get so tired of political crap on the radio and the television. I just, I don't have a place in my life for it. So many problems seem easy to fix, but no one's willing to do it because it doesn't make them money or gain them power. And I don't care what political party you want to vote for. As far as I'm concerned, they're all cut from a common cloth. There's very few politicians that I consider up and straightforward. And I'm not going to get into that now. But what I am going to get into is we have a Garcia and Garcia cigar here called The Judge. That's right, The Judge. And it's got a little silk cigar ribbon around the bottom holding it together. But we're going to pop that off because we don't need that little cigar ribbon down there to smoke it. Actually, you can't have it on there to smoke it because it'll just ruin the cigar. So let's set that aside for now. Tonight's liquor is James E. Pepper. James E. Pepper, established in 1880, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, bottled at the historic James E. Pepper Distillery in Lexington, Kentucky. A distinct blend of unique bourbon whiskeys in honor of the distinguished Colonel James E. Pepper, forefather and innovator of the modern bourbon industry. And let's get right to the point. Warning. According to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. Yes, be careful. Be careful. Don't do it. Consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery. Don't do it. Don't do it. and may cause health problems. Big ones. I mean, big problems. What the heck was that? Anyway, here it is, James E. Pepper. Now, I got an interesting story about this. Decades ago, I went to a party in Phoenix. It was probably 77, 78, somewhere in there. I had a buddy going to college in Phoenix, and every year in the fall, when it got cool, they would have what they called a super party, where they'd rent like a location. It was different every year, and they would have these big beer parties with kegs and whiskey and you name it, and the people would go there and get totally drunk. As a matter of fact, I think the drinking age for beer in Arizona at that time was 19. Anyway, I went to a liquor store to buy some whiskey, and there was a bottle of James E. Pepper on the shelf. And it was cheap. It was like $5.99 for a pint. But the tax stamp on the cap was from like 1959. So I bought it, right? So I go home, and a buddy of mine who will remain nameless told me, hey, you better let me hang on to that whiskey, because I don't trust the guy that you're sharing an apartment with. He's going to drink it on you. So I said, you know what? I'll do that. So I gave him the bottle of James E. Pepper, and a couple of months later, I was going to a party. When I asked him for it, he drank it. Fast forward till December 2024. I would say 77, 87, 97, 2007, 2007, 40 some odd years later. I know, math is my nemesis. 40 some odd years later, I'm in Georgia, and here's James E. Pepper. You can't get it in California. Just like that Old Fourth Distillery. I can't get it here. I have to get it in Georgia, apparently. Oh, and just in case you guys don't, grape Kool-Aid is here. And also because it's about 45 degrees in here. It may not be cold to some of you people, but for California, 45 degrees is cold. I have a cup of hot coffee in my Buc-ee's cup. Let me spin that around. There we go. There you go, Buc-ee's. I like really strong coffee, and that's strong. Okay, so let's get things rolling here. I don't want to be burning daylight. Well, it's dark out. Let me bring you down a little bit. There we go. I have a World War II cigarette lighter. And I have my 1940s camp knife. We're going to pierce this cigar. It's 6:45. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, I cracked the heel a little bit, but that's okay. Just a tad. I always overdo it. Let's see what we have on the draw. Nice moderate draw. Oh, yes. A nice, not a too strong, but a strong smell. None of that artificially sweet crap they put on the back of cigars. I really don't like that. There you go, an actual lighter from the Second World War, carried by some GI all through Europe. That is a firm, flavorful, yet relatively mild Maduro cigar. I got this cigar at the Oakland cigar shop, and it was relatively pricey. I would say it's like $12.95. It is, it's worth it. And let's get this James E. Pepper open. You know, it's got these little pull things on it here that don't do anything. Just comes off the top. There we go. All right. Get our shot glass. It is 106 proof, or thereabouts. Okay. It smells different. I'm going to reserve judgment on that smell till I taste it. And I actually like the bottle. Okay, folks, here we go. None of the people I mentioned here are sponsors. Tim Conway Jr., iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, Garcia and Garcia, James E. Pepper, GoPro. None of them are. The Old Lighter, the Old Knife, no one sponsors me. Okay, here we go. Look at that color. That's a nice color. Let's sniff it. I want to, I don't know. I hate to say it, but I smell like a hint of vinegar. Can't be right. Over the lips, past the gums, look out stomach. Here it comes. Smooth. No. It's got a hug down to here. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's got a long hug. Kind of burns the nose a little bit. I'm not saying it's harsh, but it's harsher than some. It's not as smooth as some whiskeys. Like the old Fort Distillery was really smooth, super smooth, and we finished that up out at the desert. There were 7 of us, so it didn't last very long. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in it. A little disappointed. This is $57. Now, it's not like $4.99 like La Cadena, you know. Yeah, that was harsh. I don't know what I can compare it to. It would be a lie. I don't like to lie to people. James E. Pepper. We're going to have another estate sale here at the compound, as people like to say, but our house, coming up here at the end of the month. And we're finally going to get rid of everything else we want to get rid of. And hopefully that'll be it. Right? And we're going to put off spending money for a while. No more household projects. We're just going to live our lives, do our hobbies, and that type of stuff. So for those of you who are Mojave patrollers, look forward to that stuff. I'm going to try to go to Big Rock Airport and find the Integratron, which I think is in Joshua Tree. I haven't done any research on it yet. The Integratron is another one of those things that this guy had aliens contact him and tell him how to build a machine that would prolong, you would live forever if you sat in the machine and turned it on. And he was about half built with it, done building it, when he died. So obviously he didn't get to partake of the machine, and he took how to build it. He took all that information to the grave with himself. It lay in ruins out here in the California desert and was vandalized and almost burned down. Somebody tried to burn it down and they didn't succeed because it didn't catch. Because it was painted with lead paint. I mean, people weren't crazy back in the old days. Lead doesn't burn. So when you put a nice thick coat of lead paint on wood, it doesn't really take, right? Not quickly. Anyway, someone driving by saw the smoke and stopped and put the flames out, called the Forest Service, I think, runs department, or the Parks Department. And through eminent domain, they cut a deal with the people who own the property and the Integratron, this guy's family. And now they maintain it. They take care of it. So it's been completely restored, and you can go there and see it. I don't think it costs anything to see it. But I want to take you there. Because my viewers in the UK and Wales, in England and Wales and Czech Republic and Australia, they're not going to go see it. So I'm going to take you guys there with me, and we're going to go see it together, you know. And it's going to be a standalone trip. I'm not going to try to tie it in with another trip because that just gets too busy. You know? I'm tired of crap getting too busy, you know. So let's see here. It goes okay with a cigar, but if I was at a cigar bar and they were offered whiskey, this wouldn't be one of my choices. As a matter of fact, I'm really disappointed in it, and I hate to say that, but I've had a lot of blended whiskeys that were way better than this, and for the price you have to pay to get it, and I'm sure part of that is custom bottle, you're not getting the value out of it. I don't think so. So I'm not going to have another hit on this. This is next time I go to a big party and it's BYOB, we're taking this. Now, what I'll do is I'll have another couple of shots of this, but I'll make them into gin and tonics and whiskey and gin and tonic. Whiskey and soda and whiskey sours, and I'll let you know how they are. Yeah. I don't want to write it off completely until I try that. And I'm kind of disappointed. It was supposed to start raining here around 5, and now it's 7, and it's not raining. As a matter of fact, they expected thunderstorms and wind, and it's crystal clear and calm out, but it's still cold. Because once it rains, and it rained a lot yesterday, and then it clears up, all that moisture starts evaporating and pulling the heat out of the ground, and it gets pretty cold overnight. But the judge here, like this, My Father by Garcia and Garcia, My Father the Judge, that is a good cigar. Anyway, we're coming up on 21 minutes. It's running long. Thanks for joining me. We're up here. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. And I hope you enjoyed this. So, James E. Pepper, if you can get it on sale or a discount and you're going to use it as a mixer, it's fine. But for $57 in a fancy bottle, it is not worth that. So I'm really disappointed in it. The Judge, worth every nickel of $12.99 or $12.95 or whatever it was. So until next time, folks, later, mater.
Thrillingly different. Exciting jet age styling highlights the magnificent new Plymouth 56. Get top thrust at takeoff from Plymouth's higher-powered new V8s or 6. And Plymouth offers revolutionary push-button automatic driving. Plymouth's new push-button Power Flight, the last word in driving ease and luxury, is a first with Plymouth in the low price 3. Just push a button for neutral, low, reverse, or drive. Press the accelerator, and away you go with your choice of 2 completely new higher-powered, high-fire V8 engines. Plymouth has everything, even a highway hi-fi record player. Yes, the Jet Age Plymouth is the car that's going places with the young in heart. Now, see and drive the magnificent Jet Age Plymouth 56, the all-new car in the low price 3. At your Plymouth dealers today, just where you should be.